today. Are we recording? We're recording.
Or you can try the cloud, because you can just, if you do it in the cloud, you can edit easily and you can just delete it once you've downloaded it to whatever.
But it's what I'm talking about is the quality of the camera. The actual, when I do my recordings on my fairly recent laptop, the quality of the video is not very good. Somebody suggested that the quality of the video might be better on a handheld device because the cameras are better and the audio is better. So we'll see. It's getting recorded on this on my tablet here. So we'll see how that goes. All right, everybody, let's get started. And don't worry, I'm going to walk you through this. Don't worry about these rocks and these stones. Don't worry about all these windows. What I'm really interested in is that you're going to get the main pieces right. So we're going to start by taking your ruler and finding the halfway point of each edge. Now I'm doing this on the paper. You are going to do this. I'm just looking for the best thing. I think I'm going to do this with a white. I have this. You're going to do this with a pencil on your paper. Is there anybody who doesn't have a ruler? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Okay, let's try this one and see how it works. All right, so you're going to take your ruler and find the halfway point of each half. And you're going to mark it. Yeah, this will be tricky to see on each end. So that means, of course, you want your ruler. There we go. Right. So when you line up your ruler to draw your first line, you're at the same place. You're kind of at the same place. Yeah, I think this will work better. I'll send you a picture of this as soon as I draw it so you can see it even better. You're going to do that on the long side too. So it's either 14 or 5.5, depending on whether you're using inches or centimeters. And then, right? So those are lines 1 and 2. Don't worry, I'll draw these more strongly so you can see them. And then, of course, we're going to find the halfway point of each half. If you're using inches, that's 2.2. If you're using centimeters, I don't know on the short side, I'd have to look at it. And I'm doing it on both the short side and the long side. So yeah, being able to do this is the beginning of being able to kind of draw and paint street scenes, which is what we've been leading up to, right? Has anybody else had their second vaccine shot?
Yes,
I have.
Yeah. Did you get sick at all?
nope.
I didn't get sick, but I still have some lingering effects. If you pay attention, there's some.
There's some, like what kind of things?
Being still tired when normally I'm not.
Okay, that makes sense.
Even though I didn't get a sore arm or anything, but under where they did the shots, since I've had the shot underneath, it's like some kind of pain or something there.
Interesting.
And then the other thing I got, which I was told was an effect of Bell's palsy, is that my nose and my face froze when I got the shot.
Interesting. God, it's fascinating. It's completely fascinating.
And I've talked to other people, and some people have had, if you pay attention and you know yourself, it's like there's subtle things if you pay attention, but it is.
Right. I think that's the key word, right? Subtle.
Yeah, I had zero effects. I didn't get a sore arm. I didn't get tired. I didn't get anything.
So then you start to wonder, is there something wrong with one because they don't
No,
feel anything, right?
No.
Like, you're like, is my immune system not kicking in the way it's supposed to? Or
No.
It's not an active virus, so
It's individual, case by case.
right. All right, here, I'm drawing these in orange. I'm redrawing these in orange so you guys can really see them, and I'll send them over. And then we'll talk about the first.
I have to sleep a lot more.
Yeah, that's not, that can't be bad, right?
yeah. But my friend who was vaccinated and got
And who's in the
virus,
hospital?
she's still in the hospital, and she's, I don't know, she's been there.
Is she okay?
No, she's not okay.
Yeah, she's sick.
Oh.
She's pretty
She's
sick.
super sick. She's
I'm so okay. What's her name? I'm gonna put her on my chanting also.
Yeah,
Carolyn.
Carolyn.
Ca-
Let's wait. Let's give a little talk out for Carolyn. I think that's a great idea.
Diana, did she get sick after she had the vaccine, and that was what caused her to be hospitalized?
No. You don't get the COVID from the vaccine.
No. Bill
Just wondered
Maher,
about
Bill
the-
Maher just got COVID, you guys, and he got a shot and got sick and got COVID. It's
Because
all
he
over the
did.
news.
Yeah, but you don't get COVID from the vaccine. You get it. They've traced who she's lived in a pod for a year, and they had an electrician home, and it turned out the electrician had
Was
COVID.
sick. Mhm.
There are no
yeah.
cases of you getting COVID from the vaccine.
From the vaccine.
No.
No,
It's because you weren't completely
Protected.
it hadn't kicked in yet.
Exactly.
Yeah, it hadn't kicked in yet. All right.
Well,
so
so
here-
far, I will say that so far they know that, you guys, because you have to understand that science and at least research is behind. So in about 3 years or 2 years, they're going to come out with data about all the people that got vaccinated, didn't, et cetera. And then you'll have some more information. Right now, the information is still fairly.
There are
That's
no
true.
live viruses in any vaccine, so you can't get sick from any vaccine. You can't get the illness from any vaccine.
But it
Well,
could
they're gonna-
temporarily
That is
lower
just
the
science. That is just science that's been known for many, many years. So that,
We're
that
gonna,
yeah,
we're gonna
that's- yeah.
see
no.
when they come
that-
out with
that-
data.
No, we don't need to see that.
I'm
that-
waiting on the data.
Yeah, well, that's just superstitious.
there
I'm a
are.
veteran. I'm a vet, Diana. Trust
I
me.
agree,
Yeah,
but science is a movable feast.
Yes. Well, I think what we might see is that it has effects, but they're not giving. It's not giving you the virus.
Yeah, it could
it's other
simply
things.
Right.
Lower
It's
your
triggering
immunity
other
temporarily.
things. That
There
I
you
think
go.
that's what we're more interested in with science.
There
But
you
no
go.
one
That's what I'm talking.
here, yeah. But no one here should be thinking that this virus is at all transferable by the vaccine.
Yeah,
itself.
that's what I'm talking about, the data they're gonna come up with. You'll see, they're gonna come up with the data after all the research and all that stuff. It's still
But
new.
Osiris, I'm going to support Diana on this one. There will be probably some people who will experience effects, but they won't get the virus from the vaccine. It'll be something else. It'll be like you have immune things, and that affects it'll affect other balances in your body, but you're not going to get the
Yeah, I'm
COVID.
in agreement. I'm
Yeah.
agreeing with that. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, I'm waiting because I am a vet and we got experimented on in Vietnam.
Yeah,
I
I get
am
it.
waiting to get the data. That's all I'm saying. I'm a veteran. I'm speaking from experience, not from.
Yeah.
That's all
When
I'm
you,
saying.
when you kept
I
saying a
agree with
vet,
you.
I thought you meant you healed animals.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you, but I'm just saying, I'm waiting on data.
Yeah,
That's all.
I suspect there probably is some, and the truth is, it hasn't been around long enough for us to know,
Exactly.
right? What the
My
effects
point.
are. Yeah, you're right.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, we got it. So interestingly, this is kind of an interesting composition because the train tracks, the eye level horizon goes straight, is exactly at the middle point of, see here, it's exactly here, which is interesting. If I really looked at that closely, I would have perhaps not given you guys this example. So you want to make sure that you've got, and here, let me catch up with you really quick. Oh, and I just sent across a picture of this so you can see the gridded lines really clearly. Okay, and then I'm going to catch up over here. over here and here with my pencil. So give me just a second.
It's an eye twister.
2.
Let me see.
Second, you guys, and I'll catch up with you.
Okay, I'm gonna skip out. I gotta go do my prayer.
7. Okay, so drawing here. I'm hoping nobody is still folding. I'm hoping by now you have stolen a ruler from your child's equipment. Whatever it is, you'd gone and bought something using a tape measure, something, because at this point we don't want folded. We'd like our drawings not to be folded. I mean, if you are, that's fine. I'm just kind of gently encouraging you to take the step and buy a ruler. Okay. All right, so where are we here? We are here. Okay, so our first set of lines we're going to draw are going to be these train lines, these train track lines. So we'll start with, let's see. I found a yellow pencil here, which I think will be good for. Oh, dang it. Oh, if this thing falls, come on. All right, so we're going to start with these. But you also know that all these lines are going to a single vanishing point.
All the way back at the back, right?
Yeah, all the way to this horizon line, which I'm about to give you.
Yeah.
The eye level horizon line is right there. So where the sky, yeah, so just like that sketch that we did, everything is going to one vanishing point. So your first job is to get in these pieces, and you can use the, oops, nope, that isn't quite right. There we go. That's better. And you can use the grid to help you kind of place things. But also remember, everything goes towards this horizon line. So I wasn't very careful with that. The horizon line is basically at the center here, maybe slightly above. Okay. So I can come here, kind of add my horizon line in just above my center line. This is my eye level horizon right here. My vanishing point is literally probably right. The vanishing point is probably right here, just to the left of the center. And then I can start. I'm going to take my, actually the ruler is going to be super helpful here, because I can see that this line kind of starts here. Here, hold on. I'm going to scoot this a little bit this way so you can see. So I'm going to mark it here. And I can see that this line, and it comes down here. And I know that they all go to the same spot. So literally, right, there's my first set of tracks. Here's my second set. The one in the center starts here and ends here. Goes to the same place. Gesundheit, my darling.
Yeah.
And This last one looks like it comes right below here. It comes up a little higher here. Voila. Now I was thinking about something interesting. If you remember, last week when we drew, last week when we were drawing a fence, right? We had to draw our lines straight up and down vertically to create the illusion of fence. But these are train lines, so we need to draw them horizontally. Isn't that
Did
interesting?
you grow up around trains? I grew up around trains. Did you grow up around trains? Anybody?
A little bit. They're great. So look at the difference. So this, if you make your lines vertical, you have a fence between these lines. If you make your lines horizontal, you've got train tracks. Not interesting? And then some of you went like this because you couldn't decide what you wanted to be. So, and I don't want you putting in all those lines because we can't really see them. They're mostly covered with pebbles. That was just something I wanted to point out in terms of like the struggle visually that we have. So I'm going to take a picture of this. I'll let you guys finish, send it over, and then we'll move to the next step. And those of you who want to, of course, can move to the next step. I'll show you what that is. Here, hold on. I'll take a picture of this. And then I'll draw the next lines. And there's cars in here. Right? And then over here, it's a little bit hard to see because things are dark. It's a fence. I always like to do the top of the car line so I know kind of how to contain my cars. Arcs. So the top of the car line. Here, hold on. Starts kind of below the vanishing point. And then it goes up here to the center. And then all your buildings are going to come down to that vanishing point, right? So when you're sketching out, yeah, that'll work actually. I mean, the buildings aren't all the same height. So you're going to need to, but every single, oh, isn't that interesting? Yeah, actually that'll kind of work. I'm just going to draw the line straight up so you can see. So a few of these buildings are different heights, but you can draw lines for the kind of edges of your building. They're also going to the same spot. So they'll help you kind of locate where things are here. I'm gonna go. So you can see in this case that this building definitely bends like this, the side of this building, the side of this building. Yep. Side of that building. These areas, 1, 2, 3, they all are at the same angle. And then we've got this here. So as you start to add it, you can add in these lines as well. Here, I'll take a picture so you can really see them. And now I'll stop because I think I've got you guys definitely started on your task. Here, hold on. I'm going to take this down for a second so I can take a good picture of it.
My eyes are bad.
It's hard to see. I still haven't managed to get, I've got a new lamp coming in and new camera and hopefully all kinds of things that will make it better, but who knows?
Oh, and my painting has gotten better, Leah, thanks to your drawing.
Really?
Wow.
Your
Awesome.
abstract painting?
Hmm.
Your abstract painting?
Yeah, I'm an intuitive abstract painter. You guys, I got nominated to, I think I told you already, but I've got a few nominations or something. And because of the drawing class, it's hard for me because of other stuff, but it's also helpful because I like figurative drawing mostly. And sometimes I like doing figures. And so I wasn't able to do that except in an abstract way.
And now you
So
can
now-
add it in. Nice.
Yeah, now I can add along what you're teaching me and my own stuff is what I'm trying to
That's awesome. Listen, if you are doing abstract work, your sense
Yeah.
of composition has to be really strong. Abstract work is not easier. Abstract work
Well,
is
a lot of
hard.
people think it is because they think you're just throwing something on a paper, on a pad. But when I show you what I've come up with drawing and being an intuitive abstract painter, because I just paint from intuition, it is very, very different. And it kind of gives me a kind of a different platform to work from.
Absolutely. It all helps. And
Thanks
as
to
you guys,
Diana having these classes.
exactly. And as you guys know, my
Thank you, Leah.
Carista Trask is going to be starting an abstract painting class on Tuesday nights, starting in June. Tuesday afternoon for West Coast people. It'll be a little too late for Europe. I'm sorry. If we don't get much interest in the US East Coast after work time, guys, we will think about scheduling it earlier. But I can tell you, Chris is not a morning person. She's not a get up at 8 a.m. and do the
Hard.
things. So it's more likely to be kind of later in the evening for you. But we could maybe get her to start something at 11, which would be like a 7 o'clock start time. So anyway, but those will be recorded. They will be starting, and she's real serious about it. Like she has a whole curriculum on abstract painting. So I'll send you out information about that soon, but that will be available for you to join if you want to. Hi, Stephanie. Hi. Who else jumped in here? Janet. Nice to see you guys. Good to see everybody. So go ahead and just send it in to me when you've got your lines in. Here, I'll add the rest of mine.
Are you kidding? I'm like, I don't even know.
Don't worry, just do what you can. It is hard. It is hard. It's real hard.
Leah,
Huh?
I'm doing a kangaroo.
Okay.
May I send it to you, please?
Of course. Always. Oh, and by the way, anyone can do anything in this class. You are not required to do the lesson.
Oh,
I
wow.
am
That's,
teaching. You can
I
just
guess some
work on
freedom.
whatever you want and send it in, and I'm happy to talk about it.
Thank you.
I'm happy to talk about it. Yes, of course, because I want everybody's flow to, I mean, I don't want to be rigid about this. I don't want to decide that I know what everybody wants to do. So
Well, I can see things wrong with it already.
let's see.
No.
Hold on. Is this in watercolor, Sandra?
Well, yeah, but for now it's in pencil drawing.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'm looking. I think it's a little bit long in the leg. in the
I just
back leg.
lengthened the legs because proportionally.
Well, I don't see
realized-
anything seriously wrong with it. It looks pretty okay to me. Maybe this arm, maybe.
The front
Yeah, the
arm
short arm needs to come out a touch more.
to the left.
Yeah, but actually, Sandra, this looks like a pretty solid drawing to me.
I just
Maybe
lengthened the legs.
No, I don't think it needs to go out more because look at the gap between the legs.
No, I'm talking about this line.
Which
Uh,
Talking
I
about
can't
the
see.
horizontal line.
Can't see.
I'm talking about the horizontal line that's here. This thing.
Ah, And it needs to be more horizontal, maybe.
Yeah, a little bit more like that. Yes, absolutely. You're not wrong, you guys.
I
Maybe.
just need to, the reason I lengthen the legs is because they're supposed to be as long as the height of the body.
Yes.
Around.
Okay, so, oh, you know what it is then, Sandra? This is coming too straight across this bottom line here. Sorry,
I
right
can't
here.
see on the,
I know, right here.
let me-
Tummy. She's talking about the tummy.
I'm talking about the tummy. So this bottom line of the body, you have it going straight across, which is making it narrower. It should be coming down at an angle more.
but it's not, because the body itself is
It
coming
is,
straight, and underneath
but
it's
you've
a piece
got
of
it,
stone
you've-
that's reflecting.
Yeah, but you've got it, you've still got it too high up. When I look at this should be a little thicker.
Let me,
I'm looking at this shape.
Yeah.
I'm
I
looking
see.
at
yeah,
this.
but that,
shape.
this is the, where you think it's the tummy, it's actually a piece of stone.
It doesn't
Lem-
matter. It does not matter. There's still, you still trimmed it in a little bit too much. So bring it just a slightly at an angle here.
But let me send to you.
I can see it. I can see it, Sandra. I'm looking at the bigger picture of shape here. Oh,
but
I know
you-
what's going on here.
It's a piece of stone that's reflecting.
Yes, I understand that. So do you want me to correct it or not?
No, but I don't think you're looking at the right thing. Let me send it to you.
I mean, I don't really see. Oh yeah, I know what the problem is. It's up here. It's the back line. The back line needs to come up a little bit more and square off here. So you need to come up a little bit higher. Here, I'm going to redraw it. And then Jackie, I'll take a look at yours.
Yeah, I know what she's saying, Sandra. You know, the back line that goes from the neck needs
Right.
to be a little bit steeper.
It needs to go, it needs to be a steeper and a little bit squared off. You have this thing going.
I can see that.
You
too.
have going
That's
this
what I
thing.
think.
That's the problem. So you need to bring it. So you have, I mean, Sandra, just take a look
Oh,
at
so
the
you're
back
not
line.
talking about the belly.
No,
No, the
talking
neck.
about the back
The
line.
back
Ah,
going
okay,
from
okay,
the
okay.
neck.
Curved it. You did this in an
And it
exaggerated
needs to
form.
be
Little bit straight up and a little bit more squared off here at the top. So it feels thick enough. Then that will work. Okay,
thank you.
moving on. All right, let me see here. Sandra, those turned out really nice, by the way. Okay, Julia, that looks pretty good. Stephanie. Okay, Stephanie, your next job is to get a ruler, honey. I want you to buy a ruler.
I'm sorry. I do have one. I'm working with a notebook that's like a really weird dimension of paper.
Oh.
And so it's hard to like evenly fold like exactly half and into quarters and stuff. So
Got it.
I don't have any other like printer paper.
You don't have other paper. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll give you, I won't give you a hard time. And I see Jackie is already going on to the other thing, which is to get these the vertical lines. So just remember, these vertical lines are straight. So remember that any line that's kind of going horizontally down, it will have to go like this. Hold on. Where is my pencil? Yeah, here we go, yellow. So any line that's kind of on the horizontal, that's on the side like this, these are all gonna go towards the vanishing point. But these lines that are going straight up and down, they're gonna be straight vertical lines. So once you start adding in, so Jackie has done exactly what I want you to do, which is to start to add in the outer shapes, right, of the buildings. So you can get that building line. Good job, Jackie. And that's what you're all going to be doing. So even though it's easy to get, and just know that anything that's, any building that is in any side of a building that is kind of going away from us, right? So this is the front of the building. This is the side of the building. The sides of the building are all going to be going Like if you looked at it very minutely, that's what's happening here. This side is going down towards the vanishing point. That side is going towards the vanishing point. This is going to, right? So let's see how you get in terms of shaping buildings. That's really cool. So try not to be too overwhelmed by the detail here. We may get to detail or we may not. Oh, and there is one other thing. We've got these power lines here as well. So we can add those in also. Isn't it easier to know there's a single vanishing point everything is going to? It's easier, isn't it?
Not really.
No?
Not for me.
Okay. It may not be easier for everybody. But in general, if you can get this concept of the vanishing point. I wonder if I can, here we go.
Well, don't you have to kind of look up to?
Look up, what do you mean?
Well, I mean, you're talking about skyscrapers from the, if you're walking, you're looking up. If you're looking ahead, you're looking straight back. But if you lift your eyes, you're gonna have to look up for visual, I would say.
But
right?
it's but that's a different view. That's not the view we're drawing.
Exactly.
We're
That's
drawing
the view
this
I
view.
see.
So
That's my view.
that's an imaginary, I mean, I'm not saying it wouldn't happen, but that's not the view we're looking at. I'm dealing with what we're looking at. All
Yeah, I'm
of
saying
these
I'm
lines-
walking while you're drawing. I'm walking on train tracks because I've been
Right,
there.
right.
So I'm walking on train tracks and I'm walking in between two buildings. So normally you're looking side to side or you're looking from your peripheral to the side of the building, which is usually higher than your eye level. So that's what I'm
Everything,
saying.
all of this is higher than your eye level. Every single thing here.
So where
is
do the
higher than the eye level.
wire? Yeah. So how are when you do the wires and all of that?
They all go to the vanishing point at the same vanishing point at the eye level.
So you don't
That's
have
what
to
I'm
look up
telling-
to do the. You don't have to look up to draw the wires.
No, they
Okay.
all go to the same vanishing point. This single vanishing point, let me draw it really big. This area, this thing, they all go. Everything that's above the eye level horizon goes down towards the single vanishing point.
Oh, okay.
Everything that's below it goes up. It all goes towards the same vanishing point. And that is actually a handy thing to know. Right?
Yep. I would think so.
Because every line, it starts at a different place, but it ends at the same place. That single vanishing. Yeah. And that's thanks to our cone vision. You know, that's how we see things in cone vision. So you can see there's power lines and there's these. So once you get the power lines in, then you can start adding the horizontal and the vertical lines for the power lines. Let me get this picture in as well. So you can use the grid, but as well, nice. Here, hold on. Sorry, guys, I'm going to pull this down for just a second and give it to you in more color, perhaps straighter. So once you get these lines in, you can start shaping in your buildings.
Hmm. It's like an hourglass, actually.
A little, yeah. This this is what we call 1 point perspective.
Oh, wow.
So everything, the way we can see things, they're all going towards, we don't really have buildings going off in another, like that house that we were doing the other day, that was 2 point perspective. One side was going this way, the other side was going this way. So there was a single, but in this particular case, good selecting, Olga. Warsaw streets. In this particular case, everything is going towards a single vanishing point. So it should be fairly easy to construct. I can keep going in the demo. Does anybody need to see me keep demoing this, or do you feel like you've got it? Tell me if you want to, but I kind of feel like it might be more helpful if I'm looking at your stuff. If anybody would like to see me keep demoing, let me know. Otherwise, I will just look at your work and see. Well, maybe I'll do a little bit more just because.
Yeah. Not cool looking.
So this means that my power lines, because they're above the vanishing point, they'll all go, this power line ends right here at the grid. I can go like that to that vanishing point. And that power, that's where that power line is. Maybe here for the one next to it, but it's still going to go to the same vanishing point. Boom. There's one here. There's one that's here. It starts, so I can see it starts. Yeah, actually, this is a very symmetrical photo. Actually, this is the perfect photo for this process. For what we studied last week. It's also true that people can lose patience with this because it's tedious, but I never remember, you know how I feel about this. Drawing is tedious. There's a tedious quality to drawing figuratively, and it's good to embrace that. I think one thing the pandemic has taught us is to embrace tedium. I'm now drawing my building line. Embrace the tedium. Now, even I'm drawing this line straight over, even though I know it's broken in some places. And then I can come over here and a little bit lower than the halfway point. I can find, right? Sorry, here, I'll like draw this a little bit this way so you can see it. I can find the edge of my building, and that's straight across, like your railroad track, right? Line, that would be straight across. And then this, here at the corner, this goes straight down. Because vertical lines are straight down. So there we go. There's the side of my building. Then I can see where this stops, which is about here. And then I can draw a vertical line. And there's my second building. Second side of the building. So here we go. Here's my first building. I feel like it should be a little bit more this way. So I'm gonna, yeah. Slanting it just a little bit more. Yep. Then I can come over here. It's a little bit hard to see because of the grid lines, right? But this is happening. I can come down here and see that there's a little bit. Notice how small you'll see that your vertical, your horizontals really kind of match up. There's the side of the building down. See how I'm carving out? I can come over on this side for this one. Straight down, straight down. And then this requires a different vertical because it's not in the same line as the others. So I could just come here, line this up with my vanishing point. See that? Crazy. It's crazy. Bring those down. So even though as a concept, it's kind of hard to wrap your mind around it, once you get it, you'll be like, oh my God, this is how I get my building line. above and below. Then you can erase out these extra lines. And of course, you get to do that with all of these horizontal lines as well, right? Each one of these will
wow.
also go to the vanishing point, same vanishing point. Let's see. Yeah, Olga, looking pretty good. Uh-huh, yeah. Yep. Maybe add some of your, so add in this fence, right, which is below your horizon line and above, and add in this line for the cars. Maybe you can go in and do the, here's where you guys are gonna want to do cars, because you're gonna be like, I can't do cars, right? You will realize as you try to do, maybe put the outer edge of the upper edge of the cars in. Not too much in within that.
I did the little cars.
Yeah.
I tried.
Yeah, yeah. They all kind of go within this little angle line, you know, these two lines that we've drawn that all go to the vanishing point. So we know how they fit in. We know that they angle up, and we know how that angles up.
Wow. It does look like a building now.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. I'm like a little third grader. Wow, teacher.
Yeah, this is it, right? Like this is us. So here I am working on it. I'll work on it a little bit to show you what I mean. So I've drawn my, have I really? Let's see, hold on. I'm gonna go here. It could be a little bit longer. So I'm gonna redraw this line. There we go. So now I can kind of come in here, right? See where those white lines are? And these cars are really all kind of contained. They're all
Behind
in
that
one
thing.
line, and they're all contained in this thing. Exactly. So I think the hardest thing we have with cars is how to put the wheels in the right place. The back wheels are always smaller. See how I can start to add in the cars? Isn't that crazy? See how I can start to add in the cars? And also these cars are all in a line. I'm a cityscape painter. I spend a lot of my time
Yeah, I love cityscapes.
doing cars. And it's so see, that's how it starts. Then I can come in here and add my headlights. I can add my darks. I can start to add my darks and my lights. My wheels, darks here. There's that
Leah?
first car. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Can you, are you going to go to the other side? I don't know how to start myself.
Yeah, sure.
Go.
Absolutely. I'll do that here. So if let's start with the fence, right? Which is here. So we're actually gonna, I'm trying to see where it is. Oh yeah, it's more like here. I didn't quite draw this right. So I'm gonna redraw it with white so you guys can see it. So I have this line for the bottom of the fence. It's all going to the same vanishing point, and this line for the top of the fence. So I want to make sure I get those in first. So that's here, and then not to be confused with my grid lines that I've already got, right?
Yeah.
So here's my, yes, here is my, this orange one is my grid line, and right underneath here. So this is my package, like that. And then I'm just gonna literally Yep. Draw straight lines down to get my fence. Straight lines.
Just down,
Down to, looks like they stop.
but you're not going at an angle, you're just
No,
going
they're
down?
straight vertical. Like this. And they get closer together.
Oh, the longer, the farther out you get.
They get closer together. See that? And then there is, from here, it's kind of I might just color this in a little bit because this is a little bit dark. So see, that's my fence. And now
Wow.
on this side, I'm also going to work on my buildings. So let's see, I haven't drawn any lines for my buildings. So I'm going to start by drawing.
Yeah,
here.
that's,
Hold
I
on,
didn't know
let me
where to
get it sharp.
start.
Okay, let me get a little bit going here.
So you would start with the fence, not the building to draw.
Yeah, because the fence is like in front, just because it's in front of the buildings. So I'm just establishing that as a distance. Okay, so let's see if I can get in some, so I can see. So here is my first line. So I'm going to draw this line because this is related to the top of that building. But actually, maybe this line is the more important one to draw. Oh, yes. Actually, this line is the more important one to draw because it gets a lot of the top buildings. So I'm going to start here and I'm going to draw a line to the vanishing point. So starting right before the edge and draw a line to the vanishing point. Okay, and then I can see that right here above, very close to this edge, I can draw a vertical line straight down to get that building. So this is the building behind, and then this is the building in front. And then I come down here, and about here, I go straight down again because that's this line. Then I go out, horizontally out. This horizontal line actually, this building actually is lined up slightly differently. So I will actually, so I'm going to go down over tiny horizontal line here.
You gotta close it in.
And then I'm going to come here and go to the same vanishing point.
What?
Because this is the edge of that building. If I drew this down here, that also goes to the same vanishing point. And then I'm coming down here. Up and over. Now I can't really, it's harder to see. But I can see that there's a building here. It's kind of this white one. So all of the the basic rule is that all of the lines that are vertical go straight up and down. And the horizontal lines that are on the top and the bottom, they all go to the same vanishing point. So your vertical lines are always straight up and down. Your horizontal lines, like the tops of the buildings, as opposed to the vertical sides. It's intellectually, it's a little bit hard to wrap your mind around. Once you get it, see? Yep. It becomes much easier. And then I can get all these windows because I know, here, this goes straight down like this. I know they all go to the same vanishing point. So now I can get all these windows because I know they all go to the same, wait, I didn't have them at the same vanishing point. I wasn't being careful. Hold on, I need another eraser.
But they're vertical lines though, right? Yeah. Oh,
She's gone. She's getting something.
okay. I think I got it.
Let's try that again. So my vanishing point is right here. So I know that all my windows here, these horizontal lines, they're going to be they're going to start at a different place on the side of the building, but they're all going to go to the same vanishing point. So I can just line up my ruler right here with the vanishing point, and then I can draw a line like this. And then without only ruling the outside of my ruler, see, I'm still staying at the same vanishing point. I can draw all my, I'm probably drawing too many. I'll erase those, right? But basically, I'm keeping my ruler at the same vanishing point to get my white lines correct. I drew too many. How many are there? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One more. And then on this little bit of the side, they go straight. So go ahead and start that. You can do that with these up here too. And this is intentionally, this is a dark photograph, so you're not going to be able to see it as much as other things. You can add the darks and the lights in though. And then in places you can see your train tracks, which are also, well, let's see. There's kind of a dark, if I wanted to start adding a little bit detail. Yeah, that's better. Here we go. There. So a little bit sloppy with my vanishing point on this side. So I'm redrawing them. I want everything to go here. There. So I can see, so here is my train track. For example, here has this very, so right here, it's dark. So I can darken here. And then I can go horizontally across because I can see the slats here. The slats are kind of dark. Mm-hmm.
What am I eating? Such a good boy. I know, let mommy finish it. We're gonna go. So sweet.
Let mommy finish. They don't really get that.
My
They're
dog is
like,
pretty sharp. He knows.
let mommy finish. I gotta get my cat to get more like that.
Oh, you have a cat. Yes.
Yes, cats are, I guess, a different thing.
It's a different thing. I like cats too. I just have a dog because it makes me get up and get out and do stuff instead of sitting on the couch. Sitting and working at the computer.
That's great. All right, you guys, speaking of, I'm gonna go check on my cat. I'll be right back.
Maybe I'm done.
Okay.
Hey guys, I'm gonna need to, I have to run and do something. So I'm gonna let you keep working and I will be back to check on you in about 10 minutes or so. I'm sorry about this. It's a little bit of an emergency. Nothing terrible, but I'll be right back. Never mind. It's all good.
Did
So
your cat escape?
I thought so, but he didn't. He was right here behind me the whole time. I had a moment. Oh, Diana.
I've done a little bit more since I sent that.
I know, and I love the blues. Do you see how nicely those blues are echoing in?
Yeah.
With the oranges of him. I wonder if you should take some sort of, I'm wondering if there's a brighter, just in a couple of places in the light areas, some bright orange.
Oh, you mean on the
On
giraffe?
the giraffe, on the
Yeah,
sort of,
that would probably be pretty good.
I think it would probably finish it. If you could put bright orange
Yeah.
and just I know you've got it on his face.
Oh, that's nice.
But a little bit of bright
Oh,
orange.
wow.
It's really amazing.
Oh,
it's really amazing.
beautiful.
Oh, Cyrus is great. That's
Oh,
great.
thank
Coming
you.
along.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good idea actually, because I haven't used colors as I normally do.
Oh, it's pretty.
Mhm.
I've been
Yeah.
more subdued.
Yeah. So add in a few of your brights.
Yeah.
Yes,
And I can
indeed.
see exactly where it needs to go.
Yep.
Look at his little ears. He's like, hi, mommy. What are you doing?
Hi.
And now when I think of the animal kingdom, I think that they all have a mom and a dad.
They
you know,
do.
A family that they go to. It's so interesting.
By the way, everybody, you're doing great.
Thank you. It's because you're a good teacher.
Ha! I don't know about that. I think you're good. I think we got good students here. I think we got good hardworking students.
I mean,
And
my
I know
mind
this-
is all twisted, and I can still understand. So I think you're pretty darn good.
Olga, that's looking good. Looking good. Let's see here.
I love her giraffe.
Come here, boo.
Thank
Come here,
you.
boo boo.
I thought you were doing a kangaroo, though.
Now that's
That's
Sandra.
Sandra.
Oh.
We're not one and the same, even though it's easy to think.
You're not intertwined.
No, for those of you who haven't sat through the other, Claudia and other, I don't know, maybe you have, I can't remember. If you have not sat through all the perspective lessons on buildings, we've done, this is our third perspective
wow.
lesson on buildings. So, and streets. So if you have it, it might be helpful to go back and listen to those lessons as well. Only because we're kind of simplifying. This is a little bit more complex idea this is a more complex idea of a sort of simpler things that we've reviewed more simply. But I think from what I've seen, people are doing great. And you should send it over if you're having trouble. You should send it over if you think it's going well. Either way, I'm here to help. So that's my job, is to help you figure that out. Let's see. All right, Nina. All right. Yeah, girl. 100%. Just keep going.
Thank you.
It's amazing, isn't it?
You know what? It was the first lesson that I don't know what I missed, but I missed that whole vanishing point thing. And that's why I think I felt like I was catching up, but that's the key, I realized.
That's the key, right? And knowing that all of the things that go horizontal, right? So you can keep going back with those things. These are straight and these are straight. It's the sides of things that go to that single vanishing point. The sides of things. Yeah.
Okay.
But even when I put words on it, they're not exactly the right words. So I get it.
Okay. Yeah. So it's the angles on the, yeah. Okay.
It's
I got
the
it.
side, right? Like, so you've got a building, right? So we're looking at a road and this is one side and the other side, right? So it's the sides of things, the side of the building, as opposed to this part of the building, which is we're looking at straight on, right?
Mhm.
Like a cube.
Yeah, my logical brain still doesn't get it. I know because when I
would say your non-logical brain doesn't get it.
my non-logical, okay, because something in my brain is not clicked. Okay.
This is a logical process. So it's the non-logical side that's trying to make sense of it. That's the verbal conceptual. Non-logical, this is a very logical thing. This is a side, this is a side, right?
Mhm.
I'm drawing them in so you can really see them. And the tops and the bottom of this side all go to the same vanishing point. So that's logical. What's not logical is what you're trying to, is when you confuse yourself in your head. That's not logical. This is logical. It's a rule that always holds true. That's why I like to avoid the use of the word logical and creative for right and left brain, because it's a bullshit dichotomy. This is a creative process and this is a very logical rule. And your quote unquote logical side of your brain is trying to fight it. So let's remove those ideas. Let's not even use that word logical.
Okay. Well, something is fighting my head and I don't know.
It's what you think is supposed to be happening versus what is actually happening on a two-dimensional surface. Jackie, wonderful. Keep on going. Add in the car lines, Jackie. Add in the car, the upper and the lower sides. Here, I'll set a close-up picture so you can see it. Oh yeah, Diana, there you go. Now you may be done.
Okay.
Yep.
At least I take a break now.
At least take a break from that one. That's it. It just needed a little Diana splash. Here, I'm going to take a picture of this car lines up close so that you guys can really see it. No, not that. Here are the squares with the car line.
No.
And Leah, can you show us how to do the train track so that, they really look like, with the darker shades and then,
Well, I mean, I can show you to some degree. I mean, I'm not going to draw every damn stone. I'm going to do the darks and the obvious darks and the lights. Let me start by doing that. I'm sorry. I won't do every stone. I can't bring myself to. It's so boring. But you can see that there's little shadows on this side and kind of on that side. So I'm darkening the light and dark shadows. So let's see. I can add in, I think you're getting lost in the detail is my point, my sweet, and you don't have to. Let me add in the things I think that are important. You can't even really see on this side, you can barely see any tracks at all. The wooden tracks are mostly covered. So let's say, I'm gonna sketch in here. So I've outlined the dark and light areas, and I think that is the first thing. Now I'm gonna get in the boards where they need to be, right? A few. And then here I can see this is all pretty dark and it's a little bit wobbly. It's all kind of dark here too. What I would do in paint versus what I would do with the pencil. The pencil bores me so much. This is where the pencil really bores me. You can get a lot of texture in, right, with your pencil. And there's a kind of a lost edge here. So we'll kind of bring this in. Yeah. Does this help, Claudia, a little bit?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Just don't try to get too caught up in the detail is what I'm encouraging you to do. Now that is just very strictly because I'm a painter and I have no interest in getting the detail of this train track. Sorry, I just don't, right? It's just too boring for me using this medium. There's things we would do with the paintbrush that I would do. So I'm trying to think like a painter, but use the tools of, oh yeah, that's starting to look a little better, isn't it? It's not entirely crappy. This is kind of dark. Yeah, and then this can be kind of a medium color. Yeah, it's a little bit better. This is fairly dark, actually. And there's a super dark line in the middle. And then, yeah, here's this incredible dark. I don't know if you guys saw this picture in color. It's amazing. I mean, it's a wonderful picture. Even with the vanishing point showing up at the middle. How's that? Does that start to give you a sense?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So I like to always kind of step back and squint and see the bigger shapes, the sort of darker and light shapes when I'm dealing with a lot of detail like this.
Olga, what is the name of that site where you can find good pictures?
Unsplash.
Unsplash.
Unsplash. That's where I get that's where all these come from now.
Good.
And it's very international, so you can get a lot of great
fun
stuff.
I'm gonna find myself a cityscape.
Oh yeah, you can get them. Did you see the 3 I sent?
Yeah, I like one of them.
Which one? The Hania one?
The last one.
The Greece one, the Greek one, the European. Yeah. I bet that reminds you of your traveling days.
Yes, it does. I don't know. So boring. I'm bored with my pencil. Bored. What I could do with you, the paintbrush. Actually, maybe we should do like a simple, I wonder if I can find a simpler one. I was thinking we might want to get into cityscapes next week in watercolor. Maybe this, but this feels a little bit hard. There you go. Starting to come.
Over here, of course, is like, so here's the other train track, and then above it, it's quite dark. It's kind of this dark grassy thing because it's like this street scene. So darken up your, you can start by kind of simply darkening the easy things, you know, getting the light dark contrasts with everything. So everything around these train tracks is kind of darker. This set of, what is it? It's 1, 2, actually 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 5 train tracks. Each of these is a train track. I mean, I feel like these buildings are mostly dark, so I'm kind of darkening. Oh yes, and here's the side of the building. I didn't really see that. So I could draw a straight line down. It's kind of dark here. It's interesting how much things change just in the darkening. Sorry, you guys can't see this all. The darkening and lightening of major areas without really even getting into the. All right. I mean, so this is very dark. So I'm kind of going around the whole composition and looking for the darkest, biggest, darkest areas first. So that's how a painter thinks. A painter is looking for the biggest, darkest areas first, always. Because you know you've got to get those. Here we go. I don't have any of this detail of these inner buildings, and it's important now because I'm like, oh, got to get the darker areas, the darker buildings in. Right? So I've just kind of shaped this building by getting the darker building behind it. Ha. And then this building here. And there's even a little sign up here. I don't exactly know what it says, but you could get it in there. It's lighter on this side. There's lines. You know, so you can keep kind of building in darker. I like these. I like to make sure I've got in. I'm sorry, I've gotten a little bit lazy because I haven't really done too much detail because, you know, I've made it clear. I find the pencil kind of boring. I would find it much more interesting in paint, but I should try and tell you. But see, already we've got a little bit more dimension here. So I encourage you to try that. I'm sorry, you guys, just because I say something's boring. Oh, nice, Julia. Gorgeous. Yep. Absolutely. So now is a great time for you to start adding in some darks. Right? And maybe looking at the detail of these train tracks in the way I've kind of outlined. So let me take a picture of this so you guys can really see it. Outlining the dark. Now I see, Claudia, you're right. It's half the painting. It's half the drawing. We do need details on dealing with the train tracks. And not only that, the train tracks are closest to us. So here, I'll work a little bit more. Also, this would be freaking amazing in charcoal or even ink because there's all these wonderful kind of lights and darks. So see, I'm kind of adding in the lights, the darks, and I'm kind of trying to make my marks look sort of raggedy and horizontal, like the way the pebbles are laying. So there's kind of a rough edge. It's not so clean. It's not like a line like this line, which is actually like these lines are the lines of the train tracks, and they're man-made things, and they're harder and sharper, cleaner. But these lines are kind of more like rocky areas. Is anybody kind of mesmerized by this in a weird way? Oh yeah, and you can't go too far. I need a little light line for you. And then like on this side, it's the same. So here we go. Nina, I'm trying to think about it another way. Here's another way of thinking about drawing rules. We are dealing with a flat surface and we are trying to create the illusion of 3 dimensions, right? So it's very important to remember that the rules are different. When you're thinking that you can draw back into, you literally thinking I can draw back into the paper, right? But this is a flat surface. My lines can only go this way, this way, this way, this way to show depth. So there's actually a translation that has to happen where you understand the rules of perspective on a flat surface. So how do you show 3 dimensions on a flat surface? The lines go differently than you think they should. In general, angles are much more steep than you think they should be, right? Like this is a great example. This is a fairly steep angle for something that's laying flat on the ground. But we have to do that to show it going backwards. So I think the thing that's messing with your head is that you think that what you're seeing is one thing, but in reality, what you're really seeing, there's a translation that has to happen. A great example is Tate was talking the other day, we were doing a still life on Sunday. And so she drew a cup. I'll just quickly sketch this. She drew a cup like this. There was a teacup sitting on the ground and she drew it with a flat, right? With a flat bottom like that. And I said, that's not how teacups go. They go like this. They have rounded bottoms. Nothing is flat, right? With the tea. She said, I can't see it. And I'm like, but that does not mean that's not what's happening. So on some level, I'm asking you to look and see what's happening. But on another level, your brain won't let you see what's happening because you have to actually know the rule to understand what's happening. That makes sense? Trying to put words on something that's not really a word thing.
Yeah.
So there's a whole logic, right, system. It's like learning a language. It's like you trying to apply your English grammar to Spanish, right? Does that make sense?
It does, and I think it also comes with practice, because the one thing that took me a little bit was the first building on the left-hand side, because it was on the angle at the top, and I was like, this doesn't logically make sense. It should be straight. So I did struggle with it mentally.
Take the word logical out of your mindset.
Because,
but I'm really telling you,
labeling. Sorry.
You have to stop label. The reason that you're having problems is that you're using that word.
Okay, so that line thing, right? That angle kind of threw me off. Yeah, because I'm like, why is that on an angle? It's wrong. And then I had to struggle in my brain to say, just go with the flow.
Yes, although going with the flow does not explain the logic at all. So the reason is that as you look up at things, they become more steep and slanted. And as you look up at things, they get slanted as they move away from you. And as you look down at things, they slant up as they move away from you. That's the logical rule. That is the rule, and it never changes. So you don't have a problem with this, right? You don't have a problem with drawing this.
No.
This does not rise. This is not a rose that gets smaller as it goes farther away. It does not rise up off the ground.
No.
But we have to
okay.
draw it that way, right? Yes, yes. But we have to draw it that way. That's the rule of dealing with 3 dimensions on a flat surface. Got it? So there is a logic, right? And on some level, you have to kind of accept that this is what's happening. That's why this building doesn't look flat, because this side is going away from you. So yes, it's absolutely a practice, but it's a set of rules that's very, like the rules that you're trying to apply to it, they don't work. It's like I said, trying to take like, I don't know, trying to take another language's grammar and apply it to your own, like to a different language. It just doesn't work, right? Each language has its own grammar. I mean, some grammars are similar across languages, right? But I mean, I don't know, like Hungarian is a totally different, like you could not like apply the Hungarian language structure to English and have it make any sense. So it's the same with this. You have to understand that everything that goes away from you angles, has a sharper, it's not flat, it has a sharper angle. And you'll get there. But yeah, that's yes, that is the, I'm just trying to think of the words, but I don't think the words are helping. I don't think they really help. I think you just got to get, these are always angled. These are, nothing looks flat on the side that's going away from you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, this is helpful. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Well, and your drawing's looking good. So it's not like you're not on some level getting it. You're fighting to try and find the words to understand it. And look at what I'm doing. I mean, I understand it perfectly, and I'm trying to find the words to explain it, and you're struggling. You know, it's hard to explain and understand it. But the basic thing is to think. I think in your mind, you think you can draw back into this paper like a 3-dimensional object, and you can't.
Yeah.
This is a flat surface. It's a flat surface. You can only go this way and this way. You can't build a sculpture. This is not a sculpture. You can't go back and do the back of the, you know, do the back. You can't go around to different sides of this surface. It's flat. You can only go this way, and this way. But in your mind, you see something, you see it going back, it's doing something different. But on the flat surface, it's a different thing is happening. So that's it. You'll get it. It'll get more clear. Anyway, we could go on.
It is already because I'm surprised. Yeah. I mean, I don't get it, but I get it.
Right.
Some of it.
Right. You don't get it, but you get it. Yeah, that's okay. It's a layered thing, and we'll return to this. We'll keep returning to this.
I really appreciate you spending the time to explain it. It's
yeah,
I can't thank you enough. Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm glad. Your mind should be blown once you really start to get, as you start to do this and struggle through this problem solving, you'll find it's a very logical system. It just is a different set of rules than what you learned before. So interesting. And once you get what those rules are, they make you much smarter. You're already smart. So imagine how much smarter you're going to be once you can understand this visual thought process.
Will be unbearable.
You'll be you'll be fantastic. Look, I spent all my time with you guys.
Oh, I think people at work will freak out if they think that. Okay.
Yeah, they're like, she doesn't need to be any smarter. I think this is a very practical, hands-on logic system. Once you start to learn the rules of this, you stop overcomplicating things. You stop judging things so much. You start realizing how judgmental words are, right? And you start looking for words that are less judgmental and more relational to what is actually happening. And I think that's a profound thing that happened to me when I started learning to draw. I used to look at something and go, what's going on here, right? Are they mad? Are they blah, blah, blah? Are they this? Are they that? And in reality, since I've started drawing, I'm more able to walk in and go, oh, they're announcing this person isn't happy, blah, blah, blah. I don't know how to explain it. Like there's a kind of a visual, you get more tuned into the visual keys that you're being given, and the more nuances of those, how more nuanced they are than you think. So having that visual piece really like locked it into place for me, made me a much better writer. Like I stopped struggling so much with leads and things like that after, because I was a journalist for another 10 years after I started painting. It's been a long time, but it was like 10 years I still wrote. And I found that like it was just so much easier to visualize the structure of a story. The lead is this big, the nut graphs are this big, right? You could physically start to see it on a page, where I couldn't really do that before. So I don't know, it's interesting. Yeah, I think you're starting to get it too, and it's wonderful. I'm delighted. And when you get it, Nina, you will be equally unable to explain it to anybody else. You're going to fail as much. You'll be like, I totally know this and I cannot explain it.
Yeah, I think it's because I have to work with lawyers and accountants on a continual basis, and everything is put into words and logic. It's a different side of the brain.
Logic,
altogether.
remove it. It's
Oh
logic.
yeah, okay, that's my
Rad.
favorite word of the day. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
gone. But
yeah.
however they talk, yeah, it's just it's a different part of the brain.
It's a language. It's a language with rules. That's what you're talking about. There is a accountant brain with rules and language, right? And rules. And then there is a visual brain with rules. And the visual brain has different rules than you think. You need to learn what those are. Mm-hmm. So each has their own logic system. Each has the things that are always true about it. Right? Each one has their rules, and your job is to figure out what are the actual rules of the visual brain, as opposed to the rules of an accounting brain. Mm-hmm. Right? What are the rules of accounting and language? And that's a thing that you have to explain, but there's also lots of tables that you need to know, right? And rules that you need to understand. And these are rules, but you don't know what they are. And what you think they are is not what they are, right? What you think you're seeing is not what you're seeing. And that's where the kind of training, yeah, I agree with you. That's where the training kind of comes in. But I would remove the word logic from your lexicon, because I think it gets in your way. Yeah, I think it's I think it consumes you because you've used it like 20 times today. And like what I think it does is it makes us think there's one, until you understand really truly that logic is totally relational to whatever you're talking about. Mm-hmm. Then it doesn't help you. Then it's like logic presumes there's one overall thing that works in all situations. And it's not true. There's logic, right? There's different kinds of logic that work in different ways. There's this visual brain, there's this visual logic, there's accountant logic, there is other kind. Anyway, there's all kinds of different logics that have totally different rules. And I mean, here, I'm going to show this to you to show you what I mean by that. Here, I'm going to add a spotlight so you can see. If you guys can see me, my hand is here. Is it bigger or smaller than my head? Logically, is it bigger or smaller than my head?
Smaller.
Right?
Yeah.
What about now?
It looks bigger.
Okay. Logically, is it bigger or is it smaller? Logically, smaller. That's your problem. That's your problem.
Okay, that's my problem.
So you decide there's a rule that works in all situations and in all forms, right? You just said logically it's smaller, right? Because you added that to your verbal conception of the hand. Logic has nothing to, your logic is completely wrong when it comes to drawing the hand. The hand can change size depending on where it is. Got it?
Yeah, it's because we already know in our heads that a hand is smaller than a head. So yeah, okay.
So your verbal, so what's the logic? The logic is in verbal conceptual logic, sure, but in drawing logic, you're wrong.
You have to draw what you
Logically,
see. Okay.
logically, the thing that's closer to you is bigger. And logically, the thing that is away from you gets smaller. And it doesn't matter what there's no, so the fix, yes. Do you see, do you get it?
Yeah.
So your
helps.
logic is really getting in your way. And I would challenge you to remove that word whenever you see it in whatever context you're talking about it, because the only logic that makes sense in is verbal conceptual. It does not make sense in terms of visual spatial. Visual spatial doesn't really care what a thing is. In visual spatial logic, where things are is bigger or smaller depending on where it is in relation to you. That's logic.
Mm-hmm.
Got it?
Yep, that's helpful
That
again.
does
Yeah.
it. So that's why I'm saying the word is a problem for you. And that's why I'm saying, Nina, you are more in a left brain. You're a more verbal conceptual person than your brain is very resistant to right brain ideas because you want to define everything. The hand is always smaller than the head, right? You want that definition to be the same. And it is in your verbal conceptual mind, but it is not helpful to you when you're trying to draw something. There's a different set of rules and a different set of values. So you're just new in that process. Do you know what I'm saying? That's that's the fight that you're having in your head. And probably the fight that everyone here on this call in some way is having in their head. But you are just more, it was like when you couldn't draw the line straight up and down, right? You were like not able to draw and I kept saying, draw it straight up and down, and you just kept drawing them slanted.
I actually thought I was drawing it straight. That's the funny part.
You absolutely weren't, right? So like not logical. Not logical, right? That's not logical. Like you were behaving in a very illogical way, but you thought you were being logical. So that's the problem, is there's a different set of rules to this thing, and there's a logic to it, but you have to let go of what you think you're seeing. And that's the huge, that's what I'm trying to get at, is sometimes it helps to know the rules. So as I was telling Jean, when she draws a cup and she draws it with a flat surface, that's not actually what it looks like to us. And she was like, I can't see it. And we're like, that's a rule. It's always true that the sides of the cup will turn up at the end, at either end. And that is just something, because the sides of the cup are moving away from us. So just like the sides of the road are going up, right? Away from us, the sides of the cup, that's the side of the cup. So each of the sides of the cup is moving away from us, which means it's got to kind of rise up off the surface and angle in more tightly. So it's just a different logic system. Interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll get there. So.
I know you will. I know, because you're asking all the right questions.
Okay,
that's
good.
I love it. Yeah.
So I found the picture. I sent it to you. What I'm gonna do, just for your information.
Let me see. Oh, isn't that pretty? Maybe we should do that for watercolor too.
I think it's pretty with the water.
Do you think it'll be too hard? Diana, I want you to tell me if you think it's too hard for, more beginners.
I don't know. I mean, it's more straight on. It's more straight on, so it might not be as difficult as
we think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good job, Olga. Yep. See, you used a better material I think that would be a fun one. Do you mind if I steal that, Diana?
Not at all.
I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it myself, but it might be really fun. Or maybe I'll just get one similar. I would like us to do cityscapes.
It's Nyhavn, Copenhagen.
Got it. So beautiful.
Yeah, so I looked for Nyhavn.
Look at Olga using a charcoal pencil. See how much texture she can make look at how I'm struggling to get this texture with the pencil that Olga can do pretty easily with a graphite pencil that Olga can do pretty easily with the charcoal
Oh,
pencil.
lovely.
Yeah, so nice, right? Good job, Olga.
Thank you.
Does that settle what you, I'm not happy with your car line though. I want you to return to that. I want you to return to that and make that, these cars aren't light, they're actually kind of darker. Good job,
Yeah.
Stephanie. Good job. Wonderful. Ha! This is wonderful, Stephanie. It's amazing. Is anybody's mind kind of blown by this whole thing? Is anybody like, whoa? You guys are doing great. Logically speaking, right brain logically speaking, very nice. Yeah, Julia. So Julia, the only thing to keep in mind is that you have, these guys are rising up a little bit and they should be straight across. These horizontals should be flat, directly straight. Nice, 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 nice. Nice working of the edges. That's wonderful. And I love your mark making. Ha! That's great. Wonderful work. Totally a lot of work. You guys are killing it. Here's a great example. I'm just looking at this, what looks like a very abstract work. Can you guys see this here? This abstract piece?
Oh, I have to put you in focus. Yeah.
So even though this is a very abstract piece, it's following the rules of the vanishing point.
Yep.
Where things get smaller as they go back, where angles, look at how her lines are curving up. It's really brilliant. I'm going to tell her how brilliant this is, right? Where these things are coming down, where the trees are getting smaller and moving up as they go away, as we move it. We know that this tree line is not rising up off the air, right? We know that, but that's how it looks to us, because as things go away from us, we know that these trees are not really smaller than this tree in the front. We know that, but this is a great painting. Actually, it's a really wonderful painting in a lot of ways, but she has to understand the rules of perspective, but that's what she's got going on here, because that's what is happening visually. So even though this is quite an abstract painting, it is very much following the rules of perspective. Great. I'm going to tell her. So even though she's very abstracted, she's showing very strong drawing skills, right? A very strong understanding of how perspective works on a flat surface. So she can convey that feeling of depth. She knows what the rules are.
And I thought we would get away from the rules in abstract, Leah.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. In abstract, the rules are particularly important because you don't wait till you see if I hope some of you will get to join Carista's abstract painting class. It's all, and she's like super abstract. I'll show you Carista's work just so you can see it where she's going. Because you really have to know the rules of composition to be able to pull it off. I just told this woman is in Florence, and I just told her that I showed you guys all that painting to demonstrate perspective, and she wrote back. Here, wait, what did she just say? She just wrote back. She says, thank you. I'm like, this is a perfect example. Okay, here is Carista Trask's work. It's so, we show quite well together. Oh, wait, let's see. Here's her work.
It's
Can you
hard to
guys
see.
see
It's
it?
hard to see.
Let's see. Oh, I wonder if I can.
You can download it to your camera.
Not from
Copy.
Instagram, I don't think. Not from
no.
Instagram. Let me see if I can show a different piece that shows the. Here's a piece of work. Can you see that?
Yeah, vaguely.
But
Yeah. Yep.
her work is very different. Oh wait, here's a good one. That's a close-up. There we go. That's probably easier to see.
Yeah. Looks like a landscape, right?
Yeah, a lot of her work is landscape referential. Oh yes, this is one of the 7 wonders of Oregon. Oh, look at this one. Right? She's amazing. It's very, I can't imagine working that way. I would go insane. Nina, my brain would be going, logic. Oh my God. I can't. I need to be able to look at something. I need to look
I
at
actually
something.
really like it. I love abstract, so.
Oh, everybody it does, right? Because it's supposed to speak to us more directly, to our experience, how we experience the world. They say that like anyone born after 1935 doesn't really understand art. Our concept of art is more abstract, is more abstracted. Our understanding of things, our whole understanding of what a picture is or what it's supposed to be, is a more abstract concept. Yeah, that's definitely a universal. But it's harder than it looks. Oh, I love her work. I own several because there's no way I could do that. I couldn't figure out how to do it. So she's going to be teaching. And talking a lot about these ideas and concepts. So talk about, you'll get to a whole other an intellectual process when you get there with her. It's really fun. God, you guys, you realize it's almost been 2 hours?
No.
Yeah. Anybody else? Why don't you stop at where you are and take a picture? Just send it. Let's see how I'd like to see where everybody is right now.
Okay.
Let's see. Stop. Diana, you're probably just in the sketching process, and Sandra, I'd love to see where your kangaroo is. Nice, guys. Oh, Claudia. See, Claudia, there you go. Nailed it. Nailed it. Julia, nailed it. Wonderful. So wonderful. Oh, Diana, fun. Olga, lovely. Stephanie, yeah. Oh my God, Janet, all right. Okay, Nina, I want to see yours. Send it over. Send it over. Jackie, I'd like to see yours. Wherever it's at. There's no requirement that you be where everybody else is, that you work fast or slow. Jackie, yeah.
Oh,
Is anybody
Claudia, I love
pleased?
yours.
Is anybody pleased with themselves? You all should be pleased with
Yeah, they're
yourself.
all good.
Pleased with your badass selves. Look at this.
They're all
Nina,
good.
yes. Best drawing you've ever done, Nina, in these classes. Best one, hands down.
Thanks.
Wonderful.
It actually, yeah, makes sense. I think I'm shocked at it. Yeah.
I think,
thank you.
yeah, you're kind of right. Like that feeling of, and here's what I want to tell you guys. I still, here, I want to look at you when I say this. I still get shocked at it. I've been painting for 20 years and I'm still like, oh, look, I was doing these shapes and these planes and these blah, blah, blah. And look,
They all look great.
don't they?
They're all great. Yeah.
A+ for this group. A+. I hesitate. I'm by the way, changing the name of this class to Drawing Fundamentals. I don't think we can exactly call it beginning drawing anymore. I know you probably feel like, oh my God, there's so much to do. But this is marvelous. You guys really, there was profound movement and everybody did this assignment well, which is what I'm totally pleased. And do you see how differently you all handled it too? Although you followed the rules, but look at how different everybody's work looks, even with all the rules being followed. There's still so much room for expression, the way we use the pencil. Does anybody have questions like about this process? I'm trying to figure out what we should do next week. Are there any requests for what you'd like to work on next week? What do you want to do?
I enjoyed doing those cars, actually.
You want to do more car? You want?
Surprisingly.
Do you guys want to try maybe like a couple of close-ups of cars on a road? So
I don't want to kind of take everyone down a path they don't want to go down, but I kind of quite enjoyed that with the line. I guess I hadn't really thought about it.
Isn't that a trip? So those cars were fairly far back. Like you can see if you look at my hold on. If you look at the work behind me here, hold on. If you look here, you'll see I have a lot of work that features cars kind of closer up. So I can find a composition where we deal more with the shapes of cars closer up. Truthfully, it would be great to do that in charcoal. I'm kind of waiting. I'm getting a charcoal supply list together. I'm going to get a drawing supply list together that I'd love you guys all to get. By the end of this year, I'd like to be working with you in charcoal and in ink. So, and that requires a specific set of products. So I am putting that list together, and there's an art store here in town that will give you 10% off and ship it to you, all the materials fairly cheaply. So I'll send that over as soon as I'm waiting for them to get me a link. But because that might be a neat charcoal one. And so, and this would have been great in charcoal too, actually. We would have been able to handle a lot of this business with less stress. But I was thinking it might be fun to have a car, more of a street scene close up. Maybe we'll just do this one because it's pretty much just cars and lights and things. All right, but let me know if you have other questions. I think you guys did great. So any other comments on this? Any other thoughts before we leave class? Any other things you want to say?
It was more fun than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, because it's doable, right?
I find it very relaxing, actually.
Because it's requiring a level of focus that so it's just hard enough that you have to really focus on it. It's funny, when I do my painting demos in acrylic and oil, I can sometimes check out, and because I'm very familiar with those mediums, but I definitely find that watercolor is like giving me that same feeling, and teaching you drawing like this gives me that same feeling, because we're focusing so much on the task So that's the challenge with it, is to like own, maybe what Nina says about going with the flow is important, to say that even though I don't think this is right, I'm going to try this, right? And not fight it. And then when you don't fight it, you just have to concentrate to remember to keep doing it, right? To remember to keep doing it.
Commitment.
Yeah. Jackie, that was great.
Thank you.
I am impressed because I feel like you're the newest one here to the group, and I think you're just taking off. So I will mark off your list. I think you've still got like 5 lessons left. So just keep coming, and we'll keep going. All right, you guys, wonderful work. This will be up on the YouTube list soon.
Thank you, Leah.
Bye, guys. Great work
Bye.
today.
Thank you.
Really
Thank
profound and really wonderful work today. Great work.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye.